Let me take a moment to introduce our esteemed jury today. We have with us Ms. Uttara Singh. She's the director of Shri Ram Millennium Schools. Thank you so much, Ms. Singh, for sparing your precious time and joining our show today. Do share your thoughts with us.
Namaste to everyone present here. Thank you, Akanksha, and thank you to Mr. Raghuram for inviting me on this platform. Read India, I think that's one of the best things that could happen if all of India would read. Like I always say that, a book is the best friend that you can always have. I'm very excited to hear the children. I'm very, very happy to know that children all across the world have joined in, and really looking forward to the evening again. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. I would also like to welcome Dr. Pradeep Raman-Charla. He's the Registrar and Professor at IIT Hyderabad. Would you like to share your thoughts with us?
Yeah, Namaste Akanksha. First of all, I congratulate Raghuram and his team for coming up with this wonderful thought. So, because reading is so important in these days where children are surrounded with lots of gadgets. So, as there is a saying that today's reader is tomorrow's leader. So, I am eager to listen to this 16 young, bright kids who are future of the country or maybe whole world.
Absolutely, very well said. And let me on that note also introduce our final jurist who's joining us from New York at this hour, and that is Rajshekhar Panisetti. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Panisetti is the Senior Vice President and Senior Technology Leader for a financial organization. Do share your thoughts with us, Mr. Panisetti.
Thank you very much, Akanksha. Again, thanks, Read India Celebration team, for this wonderful, wonderful initiative. I think so glad to be part of it. I think looking at the opportunity and the topics I was looking at, I was amazed to see the wide variety of topics these kids are getting exposed to. I'm really looking forward for the wonderful evening listening to the young talent. Thank you for the opportunity once again.
Our pleasure. Thank you, Raj. A very warm welcome to all the jurists who've joined us today. To give our viewers a quick bird's eye view of this competition, 16 contestants have been shortlisted and divided into 3 groups based on their classes. The first category will feature 6 students from grade 5 till 7. Group 2 focuses on 5 students from grade 8 till 10. And the third group has 5 students from grade 11 and 12. All participants will briefly introduce themselves, followed by their presentation on a topic which will be given to them by our 3-member jury. The jurists will be gauging the participants based on 4 parameters: content, confidence, communication, and response to our questions. The winners from each group will be announced at the end of the show. So let's get started with the first group. On that note, let me now invite the first participant from group 1, that is Abhishri Dwivedi from Dubai. Welcome, Abhishri. And has Abhishri joined? All right, I think we now have the first group joining us right now. Let me welcome our first group. That, of course, has Abhishri, Akash, Khushi, Parth, Sanvi, and Sara. Okay, so namaste, namaste. Abhishri, let's start with you. Would you like to introduce yourself? And okay, we can't see Abhishri so far. Abhishri is here. She's there. Abhishri, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Abhishri, you're the first one to go, please. Right. I think we can see everyone. Parth, and Sara need to be seen as well right now. Parth is there. Hi, Parth.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Namaste. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, now we are waiting for Sara. We're waiting for Sarah right now. Is Sarah there? No. Are we going to start without Sarah?
Let's start. Okay, Akshay, go ahead.
All right, so Abhishri is our first participant right now. Abhishri is joining us from Dubai. Abhishri, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So hello everybody. My name is Abhishri and I am in grade 6, Gems Modern Academy, Dubai. I am 11 years old and from a family of 7, including my grandparents. I am absolutely delighted to be a part of this journey. So I would like to first thank Read India. And a few of my interests include current affairs, technology, science, and maths. And I am also a very keen debater. I have already taken a course in Python basics and I found it pretty interesting. I haven't made any applications yet, but that is next. Currently, I'm working on my reading and listening skills, due to which I'm here in this celebration. A few of my personal interests include a few of my things that I do in my leisure time include piano, skating, cycling, drawing, and chess. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself today.
We're really glad to have you on the competition today. On that note, Ms. Singh, I'd like to request you to take the presentation forward and allot a theme to Abhishri.
So much, Akanksha. Abhishri, before I give you the topic, I want to know, where have you hidden your cape? You seem to be a super girl to me. You're doing so many things. God bless you. Well done. All right, Abhishri. So are you ready for your topic? Should I give you the topic? Okay. So listen carefully. Your topic is very, very pertinent to today. It is Corona, crisis versus opportunity versus punishment. Got it? Corona, crisis versus opportunity versus punishment. All right, go for it.
So to begin with, this pandemic has changed our lives forever and it will never be the same again, with us learning new experiences, new skills, and new lessons. But to put it in one sentence, I feel that Corona is a punishment, but it is in the form of a crisis, and we should not be negative. We should look for good opportunities. This is a punishment to us humans from Mother Nature. We have taken away too much from her, and it is Mother Nature's way of giving back to us in a negative manner. And this is a crisis as lives are being taken away, and each and every single life on earth is at stake. And not only that, the economy has dropped by 3% and the unemployment has increased by 10%. All of this is to say that it is a crisis not only because of the population decrease, but also because of the economic decrease and employment increase. This is an opportunity for us to look for to learn new skills and get ready for more unknown and uncertain times, as we don't know what the future has in hold for us. Also, this is an opportunity to show our responsibility towards the society and what we actually think about our society and what we value about it. This is also an opportunity to become physically and mentally strong, while lockdown. And lastly, this is an opportunity to become stronger, not only outside, but inside as well. In conclusion, Corona is a crisis, punishment, but this is in the form of a crisis in which we should look for good opportunities. The Mother Nature has been very kind to us and we have taken away a lot from it. We must give back to Mother Nature and redeem ourselves. Together, we can make this pandemic end and redeem ourselves by giving back to Mother Nature. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Beta, you said that it is an opportunity, it is a punishment, and for a child of your age, I want to know, you said that it is time to, evolve from within also. So how have you evolved as a person, if I ask you, Abhishek, during this pandemic?
Yes. So I have actually tried to look at my weak spots and improve them. So as I have said, I found out that my reading and listening skills could have been improved. So I searched for competitions or celebrations that could help me with this, and I did as many as possible. I have also done some calming things like trying to read or doing meditation or yoga. These things have really kept my mind in peace and have allowed me to concentrate on what I actually have to do. One more thing that I'm doing to evolve from my inside is to make sure that I am always 24/7 conscious of myself. I should always be conscious of myself and see when I'm doing wrong or right and try to improve all of my wrongs. And so through these ways, I'm trying to evolve from inside.
Wonderful. That was a wonderful answer. Just one more thing. What is one thing you would do differently once the lockdown opens and the world opens and we are back to, let's say the new normal, but without the pandemic? What is one thing you would do differently?
Well, for starters, I would not want to do online school. I definitely miss my friends and I want to go back. And I would also like to go back to my family in India. Because of this COVID, we didn't get this chance this year. And so I really miss my family as I'm away from them and I would like to see them. So probably meet my friends and family.
Wonderful.
A
Thank
very,
you.
very good performance by Abhishri right now. Thank you, Abhishri, for that wonderful performance. On that note, let me quickly introduce Akash Madaram, who's joining us from Canada. Thank you for joining our competition, Akash. And let me quickly introduce you to our jurist, Dr. Pradeep Ramancharla, who is going to be allotting you your theme right now. Dr. Ramancharla, please go ahead.
Yeah.
I'd request the jurists to take one question per child.
Yeah. So hi Akash. So I hope you are doing fine. So here is the topic for you. How to draw the line between need and greed.
So first of all, when you're trying to draw the line between need and greed, when you're describing need is something that's only necessary. Greed, on the other hand, is asking more than you actually need, and it could harm other people around you in a negative manner. So, for example, there is this one tale that was told to me when I was very young. There's a Greek king named Midas. So Midas was very happy. He lived in a rich palace. He had everything a basic human could ask for. But one thing he enjoyed was having lots of money and gold. He would spend his hours counting his gold coins. He would even wear lots of gold jewelry. Though one time he went to King Dionysus, who is the god of wine and revelry, and what Dionysus said is that I'll give you one wish. Midas asked for a wish, so everything that he touched could turn into gold. So he one day, when he woke up from his sleep, he tried to test whether his wish came true. He touched his bedside table and it immediately turned into gold. Midas was very overjoyed. Then when his daughter appeared in the hallway, his daughter reached out to hug his father. And then King Midas reached back to try and hug her daughter, but then since touching her daughter resulted in her turning into gold. King Midas was struck with King Midas was struck with fear. He went back to Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, and asked him to undo this wretched curse. Dionysus felt sorry for King Midas and told him to wash his hands in the sacred river. Once he washed his hands, he went back to his palace, and everything that he had touched had turned to normal. from that moment on, he learned to be grateful with this for what he had and to never ask for more than he wanted. He died a very kind and generous king. So the main takeaway from this story is how before he always wanted more than he needed. He wasn't happy with what he had before. So the main take is to be satisfied with what you have and never ask for more if what you have is satisfactory.
All right. I think Akash, 3 minutes are over.
Yeah.
Dr.
Akash,
Raman Charla, please go ahead.
yeah, I have a quick question for you. Can you give one example from your own life where you could draw this line between need and greed?
So one time, maybe when you're going shopping, let's take a simple example. When you're trying to go shopping, you always want to say, oh, this would be nice if I had this would be nice if I had that, right? When you're going shopping, but then but your list is that you have to go with what you actually need. Don't go like above and beyond and try to buy everything. You have to stick to the bare necessities of what you need. You shouldn't overpay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Now, let me quickly introduce Khushi Sethi from Delhi. Khushi, would you like to introduce yourself? And Mr. Rajshekhar Panisetti is going to be taking this forward with Khushi Sethi. Khushi.
Yes, of course. I'm Khushi Seth. And greetings, everyone. I'm Khushi Seth from grade 7 of Tigo International School, Vasant Vihar, New Delhi. And today, firstly, I'd like to share with you a little bit more about myself. So for starters, I'm a bookworm. I love reading books by various authors of various genres, and these authors have inspired me so much that I've even started writing my own books. Okay, and along with reading and writing, I love giving debates and speeches because they help me share my opinion with others, which I thoroughly enjoy. So along with aspiring to become an author, I aspire to become a leader that can give back to the society one day. Because I believe that all paths, they lead to old and broken ways, and we need to pave our own path, a new way to reach the destination of our dreams. And this can only happen when people realize that it's not only about ideas, it's about making those ideas happen. And to convey my messages to others, I started publishing blogs and making animated videos, and I've even learned coding through which I'm making websites. After all, it is never too early to start. So that was all there is to know about me.
Wow. I'm really amazed, Kushi. I wasn't expecting a young author, publisher, blog writer. But for today, I think like maybe in the next few minutes, if you can talk about creativity versus knowledge versus logic.
Of course. So let me start with a quote by Albert Einstein. Creativity and imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, while imagination encircles the world. So today I'd like to talk about what is superior, creativity, knowledge, or logic. So let us start by understanding what is knowledge. So knowledge is a database. Knowledge are facts that have been based on the knowledge that has been derived from our predecessors and their experiences. So then in that case, what is logic? Logic is the bridge between creativity and knowledge, and assimilating knowledge with logic to create, invent, explore, discover. This is what is known as creativity. And creativity is used everywhere in all the professions in this world. Creativity is used in inventing to find economical solutions to the problems that we are facing. This pandemic, to find a vaccine, a cure for this, we need creativity. To find a way to live a new lifestyle, we need creativity. Creativity is everywhere. If we come to think about it, the world itself is termed as a creation, isn't it? So, see, creativity, knowledge, and logic, all of them are equally important. However, at the end of the day, I'd like to conclude by saying that it is indeed creativity which is required for the progression and for the betterment of mankind to think and unlock ourselves, to gain amnesty from whatever problems we are facing, and finally, to help lead a better life. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Thanks, Kushi. That was amazing to know. So if you have to put, I know I'm glad you ended with all of them are equally important, right? So, but you weighed little more on the creativity front. So what would you create for this world like now if you had the opportunity for the current pandemic?
Okay, so there are many things that one can create, but I'd like to create something using my own passion to help bring about a change in this world. So this pandemic, so basically to find a cure for this pandemic in any situation like this in the future, we need something that's already planned rather than staying unprepared. So the best way to prevent a pandemic from spreading any further is not a cure or a vaccine. It is to prevent the virus from spreading any further and infecting more people. Therefore, my idea would be to create this virus tracker that can inform all the other nations about the breakdown of any new virus so that it may be contained immediately. After all, prevention is better than cure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that was fabulous, Kushi. Very good. Let's now bring in Parth Banerjee. He's also joining us from Delhi, and Miss Uttara Singh will take it forward with Parth.
So Parth, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, venerable judges. First of all, I would like to thank Read India Celebration 2020 for providing me with such a marvelous opportunity to express myself, to share my thoughts, which I pursued by researching and analyzing and making me learn how to learn. I am Parth Banerjee and I am 12 years old. I am from class 7th A, Bloom Public School, C8, Vasant Kunj, New Delhi, and I portray myself as executive, innovative, smart, I think out of the box, and I like to work in teams. And the subjects which attract me the most is science and math because they give me the answer to the question why. And I want to become an educated human and a good doctor because educated people are the ones who bring assertive change in the society and keep humanity intact, making this world worth living. And I want to become a doctor because they are no less than warriors for me. And we can see in the present time because if any nation wouldn't have any doctors, it would have been wiped out by now. Concluding, I would like to say only passion can elevate our souls to go beyond the limits. Thank you.
Very good, Parth. All the best. I'm sure you'll make a very good doctor when you grow up. God bless you. So the topic for you is a progressive society. Is it people or state driven?
Okay. So societies are the aggregate of people who have the same thought, and there are and a progressive society which has an overall development that is in science, economical, technology, academic, social, and political field, hence overall development. So the question that arises is that should a progressive society be state driven or should it be people driven? It all starts from a Mesopotamian civilization where the first laws were penned down. So, what was the need of having laws? It was a time when people started to come together and people having different thoughts because they were different people having different thoughts led to conflict. And that is the time when people realized that there is a need of having a body which would have control over these social issues. But if there is a bright side, there is a dark side. And the dark side is that the people in charge of the authorities started to mold the laws according to them. Like they imposed any tax demand on the citizens. So this led to injustice and eventually discrimination, inequality, prejudices became the main pillars of this society. And it is true that whenever something elect will happen, whenever discrimination will take place, there will be riots, there will be revolution. And the biggest example taken can be of the civil wars in America, and that is a time when the great leader Sir Abraham Lincoln introduced us to democracy, in addressing a government for the people, by the people, and of the people. So democracy in Greek means people's power, and in this society, also the people have right to many things: right to equality, right to speech, right to vote, and right to protest. And I strongly believe that only a democratic state can only form a progressive society because it provides right to equality and it provides equal opportunities. And when the people have the right to live their own principles, their own ethics, their own values, their own choices, humanity will evolve. And when humanity evolves, society becomes progressive. Concluding, I would like to say, nurture democracy and the flower of progress will bloom. Thank you.
All right. Very good, Parth. All right. So my question to you is very simple. So in a democracy, if you as a doctor, you want to be a doctor. So you as a doctor had the power of the state behind you. What would you do?
I don't want to become a doctor, but for me, what if the change that I will bring is education, because for me it is killing many evils with one arrow. Because if we teach education, if we main prioritize education, so it will encourage the people. It will make the people think about Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. That is, everybody should be happy, which can only be possible when humanity resides. And it will also make people understand the essence of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is, the world is one family. And I strongly believe that when the children feel that each and every person is their family, then surely terrorism will finish, inequality will finish, stereotypes will finish, and discrimination will finish. And when these will finish, when equality will prevail, then the societies will become progressive. Because then the people will have the right to live their own principles, their own values, their own ethics, because of which humanity will evolve and the society will become progressive.
Well said.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Singh, there's one request. Could you repeat your question again so that we can take you full frame while asking that question?
All right. My question to Parth was that if you had the power of the state behind you, what would you change or what would you do?
Yeah.
Could you repeat it again by saying my question to Parth is?
Okay. So my question to Parth is that if you had the power of the state behind you, what would you do or what would you change?
Though I want to become a doctor, but for me, if I get the yes, ma'am.
That's fine. That's fine. We were just doing that for recording purpose, Parth. Thank you so much. You spoke very well. Let me now bring in Sanvi Panwar, who's joining us from Mumbai. Sanvi, first of all, I would like to know about your journey at Read India. How has it been for you so far? The journey all the way till this point at the finale. How has it been for you?
Oh, of course, it's been a really amazing journey. Lots to learn, lots to read, and of course, all the videos that we made, all the rounds through which we went, and this Read India competition also motivated me even more to read more books on maybe on much more various topics. So yeah, it's been a really good journey.
All right. So I'm going to request Dr. Pradeep Raman Charla to now take this forward with Sanvi, who's joining us from Mumbai.
Hi, Sanvi.
Hello.
Yeah. So.
All right. I'm sorry to intervene. Sanvi, could you please settle the headroom?
Okay.
Your head is getting chopped. Could you just tilt?
Oh. Actually, I'm using an iPad.
Can you increase the headroom? This is fine. Right. This is absolutely fine. Dr. Raman Charla, please go ahead.
So, hi, Sanvi. The topic for you is entrepreneur versus job seeker, or risk versus comfort.
Okay, sure. So yeah. So today I'll firstly say hello everybody. My name is Sanvi Pawar, and today I'm going to speak on entrepreneur versus a job seeker. Entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business with innovative ideas, and a job seeker is an individual who gives his time, skill, and knowledge to an organization in return of a fixed salary. Both being an entrepreneur and a job seeker have their own advantages and disadvantages. The first and the most important advantage is fear, that is risk-taking ability. Entrepreneurs take huge risks as many businesses fail due to competition, technology evolution, and client requirements, whereas a job seeker comparatively takes less risk as they just have to focus on one particular function of the organization. Their main focus is on sharpening skills as per their client's demand. The second point is income. In the initial period of business, entrepreneurs have less income as they start their businesses from sales and work, whereas a job seeker has a guaranteed income right from the first day of their job. The third point is working hours. Entrepreneurs have no fixed working hours as they have the responsibility of the whole business, starting right from raising funds, manufacturing the product, sourcing raw material, delivering it to the end clients, marketing, all the responsibility comes up to the entrepreneur. And as he is the owner and the main head of this business, it takes a long period to develop and grow a strong business. And a job seeker, he comparatively has a fixed time of working hours as his work is fixed. The fourth point is financial growth, which is entrepreneurs can multiply their wealth as many times as they want, as business has no limits for their growth. So they can multiply their wealth in a short period of time. Whereas a job seeker has limited responsibilities and a fixed salary, which does not allow him to multiply his or her wealth in a fixed period. Fifth point is service. Entrepreneurs work for their own families as well as of other families. They feed their own families and feed other families by creating their jobs. Whereas a job seeker works for his or her own family and feeds them. I would finally like to conclude by saying that I really respect entrepreneurs for their risk-taking ability and for creating a huge impact in the society by creating thousands of jobs. And if the entrepreneurs are one kind of a leaders, because if there are no leaders, there will be no followers. In the same way, if there are no entrepreneurs, there can be no job seekers. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So that's good, Sanvi. So my question to you is, what would you want to become and why?
So I am really a bookworm and I want to become a successful author, also a doctor, and I also want to become an entrepreneur. Because in the field of entrepreneur, if you say, because I'm very creative, so I want to make something creative. Maybe I really love personalizing things. So I would like to make a company or an organization which would personalize every single thing. And I also want to become an entrepreneur by writing my own books. And a doctor is also an entrepreneur, I feel. So I really would like to be an entrepreneur too.
Great.
A doctor and writer together.
Yeah.
Such a bright little child. I'm absolutely floored by the participants we can see today. So on that note, let me introduce our last participant from Group 1. That's Sarah Malik, who's from Delhi. Sarah, Mr. Rajshekhar Panisetti is going to be taking this forward with Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, do you want to quickly introduce yourself before I ask the question?
Oh no, why is Sarah crying? Sarah is not in the right. Why is Sarah crying? Can you speak to Sarah?
The child did not.
What happened? She's not fine. I think my team is trying to get in touch with Sarah. That's all right. It's also late night for our children.
Yeah, that's true.
My teammate is trying to get in touch with Sarah to just figure out. In the meanwhile, I'd actually like to speak to Miss Singh, Dr. Ramancharla and Mr. Panisetti and ask you about what your thoughts are on this competition so far on Group 1. All our students who participated.
I think they have been amazing. Akanksha, I think the children, such young children, grade 5 to 7, just about, junior school, middle school level, and what, capable heads on young shoulders. I am very, very happy to see you children. And, you said you miss school. Looking at you, I'm missing my children so much.
Totally agree.
So I'm also praying that school opens soon. That's the first thing we want.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Completely agree with you, Miss Singh.
Yeah, no, to tell you frankly, I would not have done in such a short notice and the content with such a great confidence. Really like a great show by all the children.
Raj? What do you have to say?
I'm amazed with the content and confidence and communication, all the aspects of things. I saw somebody aspiring to be an entrepreneur, like future doctors and writers, bloggers, and they're doing so much in their while they're attending school. I think listening to their introductions, it amazes me how much they're doing outside of their regular schoolwork. So it's amazing. Congratulations to all of you, actually.
Right. Though that
Actually,
we've
now
had,
I'm missing Sarah, so I want to
I
listen.
know.
At least 1 minute also is okay.
I know. We are trying to establish contact with Sarah. I think she's been crying, so I don't think she'll be able to participate today. But having said that, Raghuram, your thoughts, and we'll then close group 1 and then perhaps get started with group 2.
I think all the kids have been amazing. Unfortunate that Sarah is not able to join, but apart from Sarah's absence, I think I've just enjoyed watching these kids, listening to them. There's so much to learn. I've been learning. I've been interacting with them, all through for the last couple of months. I think it's been a great learning experience for myself. I would like to thank all the participants, for what they have taught me. So looking forward to the next set of students.
Right. We also, I completely agree with all of you, and we've had quite a very smart and outstanding group of children. If group 1's performance is anything to go by, I think we can expect some terrific performances lined up ahead in group 2. Thank you so much, children. You were outstanding, and let's hope one of you actually turns out winner. But do remember that even though one of you might be a winner, that should not undermine the performances that the rest of you have actually displayed. You all were phenomenal, and we are so proud to have you on our competition today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
A
so
pleasure
much.
to be a part of this
Thank you, ma'am.
celebration. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this
Short
wonderful opportunity.
break. If you want to grab a cup of tea, coffee, or maybe have some water, we'll be starting in 5 minutes with group 2. It's very unfortunate that Sarah could not make it, but we'll try. I don't know, my teammate tried to get in touch with her, but I think she was crying and she didn't seem in the right frame of mind at the moment.
Yeah, she's the youngest, grade 5. Maybe
Also, let's not forget, it's 12 o'clock.
Yes,
Yeah.
And maybe, she may be feeling some pressure to perform also. Sometimes
Right,
that
could
happens
be.
with children.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But we should give her a chance, even if I think she comes back.
Yes.
So that would be wonderful if we
I
could.
shall actually convey that. Miss Singh is saying that whenever she comes back, even if she comes back in the next, if she answers our phone calls, we'll certainly take Miss Singh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a recess for like 5 minutes.
All right.
I have a question. I didn't
Please.
get to introduce myself, so can
Akash is saying he didn't get to introduce himself. Should we take Akash's introduction again? Akash, why don't you go ahead? Please introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Akash Madaram. I recently turned 13, but when I registered, I was 12, so that's why I'm grade 8 now. But I'm currently studying grade 8, doing online school in Ontario. Along with pursuing some of my education, I love playing the violin. I like drawing and I like reading. All of them makes me relax, and it really hones my creative skills. And along with that, even through COVID, I'm making the best of my situation and trying to take all the opportunities I can to learn new things.
That's wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
Sarah is there. Hi, Sarah. She's joining the audio.
Sarah's topic is to be given by?
Who's going
That's
to
me,
give?
I guess.
I think yes, Raj is going to give because we fell short of one participant for Raj. Sarah, hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So Sarah is joining us from Delhi. Sarah, let me introduce the judges to you. We have Miss Singh, Miss Uttara Singh, Dr. Pradeep Ramancharla, and Mr. Rajshekhar Panisetti. Sarah, can you settle your frame a little? Can you come to your right a bit? I think she's fine now. Settle? Should we go ahead? All right. Good to go, Sarah?
Good evening, everyone. I believe that after we face our fears, we won't think about what we did before. And today, that's what exactly happened with me. I had a nervous breakdown, but Read India encouraged me that no, I need to speak here. And that is why I rejoined the class. I rejoined this session with a smile on my face now.
Wonderful.
Wow. I just love her honesty. Thank you for being so honest. Raj, please go ahead.
Yeah, very nice, Sarah. Can you speak for a minute about yourself? Like now, what do you do and what do you like?
Yes, sir. So right now I wanted to speak a little about a climate emergency that USA is burning down just like Australia did, and we need we need to stop it. And that's when a girl my age named Lissy Priya inspired me, she motivated me, and I wanted to be just like her. So I started from today. I planted more trees, and I want to convince more people starting from now so that they help me. And not only can we make my society, I also want to make my locality more cleaner and greener. And from that, I want to go through the country, and maybe I will even be able to make the world cleaner and greener.
How wonderful is that? So let me ask you on the same lines, okay? So your topic is going to be between use and abuse of natural resources, how to strike a balance.
I believe that when we waste our natural resources, nothing wrong will happen to us, but there will come a time when we will have to face it. Natural resources, I always thought why we call them natural resources, what's so special about them? And after that I realized that somehow or the other, we are alive because of them. There are so many things through which we cannot survive without them, and that is why I think that we should save natural resources and we should strike a balance, because right now it won't be very easy from us starting from today that we'll start saving natural resources, and some people may be against it. They still will be ignoring the environment, but I think that we should put a stop to this, and together through social distancing now, but still together we should stop this.
Okay. So what are the three things that you would do in your day-to-day lives, like to conserve these natural resources?
So I would reuse and I would recycle.
Very nice. Very nice. Any specifics that you want to share?
Yes, sir. So just before COVID-19, I was a little more curious about Lissy Priya, and somehow or the other, I wanted to show her that she inspired me and that I will inspire more people. And this is just an opportunity for me to inspire even more and motivate even more. So I started off with planting more trees in my garden and even encourage my friends. At first, I thought that this was boring and I'll just plant a tree and tell here and there, oh, I saved the environment. But after that, it actually got fun. And now if you give me a seed, I go first and plant it in my garden. There's a park in our society, and we went there and we planted seeds everywhere. They were growing like, I don't know how they were growing, and we watered them daily. He even made newspaper bags and distributed them for free. And it was actually a lot of fun. It was like we were doing art and craft.
Very, very nice. I think I loved listening to you, and please keep doing what you're doing. Okay, what you're doing, amazing things. So please keep doing what you're doing. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I absolutely agree with Mr. Panisetti. Sara, you're doing a great job, and even though Lisipriya has actually inspired you, you are a role model in yourself and continue to do what you're doing. I'm sure tomorrow you will be a shining example for the younger ones. Thank you so much, Sara, for joining the competition today. Shine on.
Ma'am, it's all because of Read India. It encouraged me so much.
Raghu, would you like to say something to Sara?
Yes, I navigate through fear as well. So sometimes I get stuck. Sarah, you're not alone. Sometimes we all get those nervous breakdowns. So,
Right.
it's not about the nervous breakdown, but you coming onto the screen in spite of that. And that is an inspiration for me too. So thank you very much. And, keep doing what you like to do and, just be yourself. That is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you, Sara. Thank you for joining us.
Wish you best.
Good night. Good night. With that, let's now. Raj, my producers have requested you to fill in the score sheet. Could you do it later?
Yeah, I can do it in the break.
I'm doing it at the end of each round. That's right. Okay, right?
Yeah, that's perfect actually. That's perfect.
I'll do
At
that.
the end of each round would be perfect. And even if you intend to do it at the end of the competition, that also works well as long as the scores are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
So let's,
like,
with that, let's now take another 5-minute recess and then we'll wrap up with the third and final group.
So Akanksha, could you just tell me in the third group, because here I got a little confused. Because I thought I was supposed to take another participant, but then I was asked to take participant 1. So in the third category, I have participant 1 again.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I have participant 4.
So you have participant 1, and then Dr. Raman Charla has participant 2. Rajshekhar has participant number 3, and yes, you will have participant number 4.
Oh.
And Raj, I'm sorry, you will not be able to have a second participant.
That's
we
fine.
have only 5 participants.
Probably I have an older version. I think
You know what we could do? In fact, the 5th participant who will be questioned by Dr. Raman Charla, maybe we could have a second question from Raj for the 5th participant. Would you like that?
There's no issue with that. There's no issue with that. I think keep going.
What we can do is I will give the topic, Raj will ask the question. So that will become equal.
Okay, yes. Thank you for making it easier for me. Thank you. All right, we're taking a break for 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5 minutes exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.